there is no hope that she could be reintroduced back into the wild. So Michelle is taking her to see the vet team to find out if there is any chance that she can survive long term here at the zoo. Amy and Carly will need their gumboots today as they prepare to go on a big adventure to meet a very special lady. There was an unexpected and devastating turn of events, and today the zoo is in mourning. At the vet clinic there's a fragile patient who's been rushed to the zoo with a life-threatening injury.
This penguin is a new one to the zoo. She's actually a rescue penguin, and we actually think she's been struck by a boat propeller. She was found missing her flipper with the bone sticking out, so a really terrible injury. So she's really, really lucky to survive.
Luckily, she was spotted by a member of the public and rushed to bird rescue, where they were able to save her by removing what was left of her flipper.
As a keeper, it's really quite upsetting to get animals that you work with in such a state from the wild, particularly when it's something that people have done. It's really quite sad.
While the emergency amputation saved her from an almost certain death, there is no hope that she could be reintroduced back into the wild. So Michelle is taking her to see the vet team to find out if there is any chance that she can survive long term here at the zoo.
You're all right. All right.
Come on. Okay.
Here we go.
Great.
She's pretty feisty.
Good.
Yeah, she's pretty hungry as well, which is
okay.
a good sign.
Good.
The little penguin is given an anaesthetic so that vet Stephanie can give her a thorough examination.
Now this is her wound site. This must have been really brutal. The vet that saw her come in, he said that the bone was sticking out of right here, and it had no flesh on it, and that it was just really torn apart.
The penguin's injury was so severe that the vets at Bird Rescue had no option but to amputate.
So there's absolutely no way that anybody could have saved it, because the flipper was just, gone. So for us, it was either put the poor penguin to sleep or keep her here on display.
But before the little blue penguin gets the all clear, the team need to check the x-rays to make sure there are no hidden problems.
Because you never know why it happened. It could have been that she was sick with something else, and that's why she got hit, because she was floating, she wasn't swimming away. So looking around her stomach area, we don't see any fish hooks anywhere, no signs of lead, no fractures. Her bones look very nice. I think everything looks really good.
Correct.
So, it's a good bill of health.
Excellent.
It's great news. It looks like the little penguin is here to stay. That is, if she can learn to swim and feed like a normal penguin.
It's all right. I know. All done though. Good girl.
But there is another reason for everyone to feel hopeful. While many of the animals are living 2 by 2, one zoo resident is all alone. Up at the New Zealand Fauna Department, a little blue penguin called Coral has been flying solo since her mate died last year. But keepers have been desperate to find her a friend, so without further delay, Keeper Dave checks on Coral to see if she's ready to meet her new penguin pal.
Hello, little girl. We're really happy today because she's going to get a little friend with the new penguin that we've got into the zoo. And so we're just about to catch her up and take her out to another exhibit and integrate them. So it's going to be fantastic.
Although Coral is desperate for a mate, blue penguins are very territorial. So Dave is hoping that introducing Coral to her new companion in neutral territory will lessen the chance of any aggression. Blue penguins are the smallest of all penguins, but this new one is even smaller than Coral.
Right.
And with the added disadvantage of a missing flipper, there's a chance it may not be able to stick up for itself.
All right, fingers crossed, so might as well do it at the same time, eh?
Okay.
Bring them both out. All right, here we go. Who's this?
Yeah.
Oh, Coral.
As well as watching out for a territorial larger bird, the little newcomer has also got to work out how to keep afloat. She hasn't swum since her accident.
Possibly first time swimming for her with that flipper.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
That is so
That's
cool.
so cool. It just couldn't be better.
This is the first time we've actually seen the new penguin swimming. It seems like she's coping really well with the one flipper. She's bathing really well, moving around the pool. So it's just fantastic to see. We're really, really happy.
While the little penguin's coming to grips with her new swimming technique, her poolmate Coral seems unsure whether to be friend or foe.
Oh, be nice. Oh.
She's definitely trying to dominate.
Yeah, she's
pushing
sort of
her around a
hurting
little
her.
bit. Good girl, Coral, be nice.
It may take some time for the little penguin to get used to its limitations and its new flatmate, but it's a great outcome.
The alternative was euthanasia, so it's just fantastic we've been able to give her a home and actually get a companion for Coral. We're so excited to have them together.
Educating the public about animal conservation is a high priority for the zoo. And for some lucky keepers, that work extends out into the field, where Auckland Zoo sponsors conservation projects. Primate keepers Amy and Carly are in Bukit Tigapulu National Park in Sumatra.
Oh my God, look.
It's a 144,000-acre oasis in the midst of massive deforestation to make way for palm oil and paper plantations.
Where else in the world are you going to get gibbons on your front doorstep in the morning? Wow.
Yeah, and it's so different to our gibbons, the sound,
Yeah.
Amy and Carly will need their gumboots today as they prepare to go on a big adventure to meet a very special lady.
Today we're off to find Tamara, who is a Perth Zoo born female orangutan, and she's been released back out into the wild in Bukit Tigapulu. So I'm really excited to see that because I've never seen that before. So we're off for a big adventure today.
Tamara is only a few kilometres away, and while it might only be a 5-minute drive anywhere else in the world, in the jungles of Sumatra it's a 45-minute white-knuckle ride.
This road is insane and it's so bumpy and full of mud and potholes, but it's so much fun, and when you're in the middle of the Sumatran jungle there's really no other way to get in there but to hang on for dear life.
After that roller coaster ride, it's the end of the line, but only for the trucks. Amy and Carly must now venture the rest of the way on foot, in hope of finding Tamara somewhere deep in the jungle.
Feels like we're in the middle of absolutely nowhere, eh?
No. It's incredible.
Making their way through the hot, humid undergrowth is no easy feat, but mud is not the only thing clinging to them. The jungle is infested with leeches.
Carly, I got another one.
No, you must taste real good.
I've got 3 in one to go. And there's another
That's
one.
disgusting.
I know, they're everywhere.
Okay, we better get moving before the rest track us down.
17-year-old Tamara was born at Perth Zoo in Australia and is the first captive-born orangutan to be released into the wild. Since her arrival here 3 years ago, her 2 full-time minders have tracked her every move from dusk till dawn, sleeping in makeshift shelters within metres of where she makes her nest at night. Finally, after hours of walking, they spot Tamara high in the forest canopy, and the sight makes the arduous trek worthwhile.
It's just mind-blowing, amazing experience for us to be standing here in the Sumatran jungle with an orangutan that was born in the zoo and released into the wild as an adult. This could be Intan or Indra or any one of our guys. Yeah. It's amazing.
There are less than 7,000 Sumatran orangutans left in the wild. Due to deforestation for paper and palm oil, those numbers are falling by around 1,000 per year. Being the slowest reproducing species in the world, they are on a fast track to extinction in the wild. But Tamara's release provides some hope.
The reason that we are breeding orangutans in zoos is as a backup population, so they're very intensively genetically managed, so that in the future when there is protected area, they can then be put back into the wild.
As the first captive-born orangutan released back into the wild, and the model for future releases, Tamara gets special treatment.
Right time, every 2 minutes.
Every 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
this was part of the conditions of Tamara's release when she was taken from Perth Zoo, to have keepers with her for the rest of her life. And the information that comes from this will be used in the future if we need to release more orangutans, and it's really, really important research.
Tamara has settled remarkably well into life in the jungle. But although she was released into protected forest, she has recently strayed into dangerous territory.
Unfortunately for Tamara, she has moved into the buffer zone, so she, A, there's not very much food in here for her, and B, this area has been tagged for logging. So Tamara most likely will need to be moved, and Julius was saying that they will almost bribe her out of the forest with fruit to try and get her to move on, because there's not really much around here for her, and this area is not entirely protected and safe for her.
Despite the continued threat to her habitat, Tamara's release has been a huge success story, giving some hope for the future of a rapidly declining population.
I'm never going to forget this experience. It makes all the leech bites and the mozzie bites and the bugs worthwhile being this close to Tamara.
It just goes to show that it can be done, and that we are doing the right thing at the zoo, at Auckland Zoo, and having zoos. There is a purpose to these animals being here, and ultimately this is what it is.
Cashin area.
Hi, Tamara.
Tamara.
Bye, lovely lady.
Back in New Zealand, it's early morning, and for the first time ever, the gates of Auckland Zoo will not be opening to the public. Overnight, there was an unexpected and devastating turn of events, and today, the zoo is in mourning. But no one is sadder than Burma, who, after a lifetime with her favourite playmate, is now alone. The tragic decision was made to finally end the life of one of the zoo's oldest and most beloved creatures, Cashin. Burma is now the only elephant at the zoo. Her keepers remain by her side as they too cope with their grief. After 10 years with Cashin, her keeper Andrew noticed a sudden dramatic deterioration in her health one morning, and the team knew a heartbreaking decision had to be made.
It dropped to the stage where we felt that it was time to put Cashin to sleep. It was always for us to do what was best for her. As much as I would love to have her around, she still is in a sense, still around. It's just, it just came that time where we just had to do it. We didn't want to leave it too long where the decision was sort of taken away from us, where you come in one morning and she's on her side and she can't get up or something like that, because to me that wasn't very dignified. It's pretty hard to get to that point where you're trying to make that call of quality of life. It got to a stage where she'd been through so much, and with her pain as well, she learned to cope with her pain, but it was just time. It was just time to say, no, that's it, let's do what we need to do.
And for Andrew, asking Cashin to lie down for the last time was almost more than he could bear.
I could hardly even talk to her to do it, I was muttering my commands up and my words up, but I just had to take a deep breath and do what I needed to do. I felt responsible that I had to do it. All the team was around her to keep her as comfortable as she could be. That day was really weird, actually, because we spent the day with her, obviously, gave her whatever she wanted. She would leave her food, actually, and just come and hang out with us and just sit her trunk down in front of us. And, and it's not that I thought she ever gave up, it's just, I think, in a way, it was just saying that it was time too, it just helped us get through making that call.
The team's focus is now on Burma and how she will cope in the coming days.
I'm not crazy in the head or mad or anything, but elephants, in nature or in the wild, they're extremely affectionate. They form very tight bonds as a family, and there is scientific research to suggest that they grieve. That day was pretty hard because she was calling a lot, and so she was calling, roaring and all that sort of stuff to try and see where she was, but didn't get any response back.
With her keepers around her, Burma is in good hands, but vet Richard is making regular visits to watch for any signs of depression.
You can look at her eye, she still looks a bit down with it all, and I think that's just going to be a continual thing over the next wee while.
Yes. It was Richard who had the hardest task of all. After 20 years with her, he was the one who had to put Cashin to sleep.
By the time I put her down, I knew I was doing the right thing. And for me, it's actually, in that circumstance, a gift that I can give her. Because I know I'm relieving her of a lot of suffering, and I'm doing it in as gentler way as possible. The peacefulness of it, and being surrounded by the people that loved her, it was actually quite a beautiful passing for her. Cashin was a very special animal, and she's going to leave a hole in my heart, and I know the hearts of lots of people.
At Auckland Zoo, everyone's still coming to terms with the loss of their beloved matriarch, Cashin the elephant. Today has been designated a Memorial Day, a chance for the public to pay their last respects. But as people arrive early to wait at the gates, the elephant team head up the hill for a moment alone with Cashin before the crowds arrive.
It's really nice, eh? We chose this spot to lay Cashin to rest up here. It's one of our most favourite spots in the zoo, where we would bring them up and they could browse in the bush behind us, and she was very good at stripping the bark off the trees and dust bathing.
It's been a tough time for everyone, and the dust is just starting to settle.
Today is the first time where we've actually probably having a chance to really reflect on what's happened over this past week, because we've really been focused on Burma, and that's probably what's going to hit us today. But at the same time, it's, you know, we're trying to remain reasonably happy because Cashin was about happiness.
As a tribute to Cashin, the zoo is offering free admission, and the people begin to pour in to say goodbye to the zoo's best-loved animal.
She's a remarkable elephant that has been a part of so many people's lives, and so it is. It's all about giving the community a chance to come up and share a thought, share something to say, or put some flowers down, whatever, write a message.
Today is also a chance for the public to show their love and support for Burma, but Keeper Laurel is keen for her to take the day at her own pace.
She'll probably have that option to just hang out where she wants to. We'll be with her, and she can stay in the paddock if she wants. She can hide out the back, she can come in the barn, and we'll just see how we go, and I think she'll probably be fine. She'll be good.
The crowds make their way up the hill to see where Cashin has been laid to rest, and to pay their respects to the gentle giant who touched so many lives.
Miss you, Cashin.
Dear Cashin, we love you. Cashin, goodbye to a special friend.
Say bye-bye.
Cashin was at the zoo for 37 years, and Andrew was with her for the last decade.
Big up, Cashy, man. Let's go, big up, Cash. That's a big up, big up. She was a very people-orientated animal. You know, she loved the attention here. We all talk about how she's touched so many people, and she has. You know, she would leave after she'd finished her food and head around to all the young kids and the adults and just go around, and she would spend hours doing it, just spend time sniffing them, and they would blow into their trunks, and that's what it was about for her. And it's moments like that that have touched so many people that know who she is, to why she's so iconic. Very good. Good girl. I know.
Cashin has left a legacy that will never be forgotten. And as the crowds gather at her old stomping ground, Burma rises to the occasion as if to honour her old friend. The keepers keep a close eye on Burma, but she seems to draw comfort from the familiar routine of working with Andrew, and soon has the crowd enthralled. A record 18,000 people have turned up for the Memorial Day. Andrew is determined to hold his grief in check as a tribute to his special friend.
To Cashin, we will all miss you so much. It's not the same without you. I promise I'll do all I can to care for Burma and give her the best possible future she deserves.
one way or another.
Burma may get a mate down the track, but for now she's dealing with the passing of her old friend Cashin, the gentle giant who touched the hearts of everyone she met. The elephant we'll never forget.
Cashin, big up! All the way! Whoa! Jump for the rocks, Cashin bear. Cashin, da. Jump, da.